PAYE, so PAYE, that's the tax on any kind of salary that you're drawing. So a lot of, so myself as a business owner, I actually do pay myself a small salary and pay PAYE. It just means that you don't end up with this big provisional tax bill, as big a provisional tax bill. So that is something to look at. The other reason you do it, as a business owner, you're supposed to be earning a wage that equals the sort of effort that you put in. So if the IAD came and inspected you and saw that you weren't getting it, because what some people do is the company that they set up will be owned by a trust, and the trust is getting all the profit, and the person that's running it is getting nothing. And what can end up is that you'll get in trouble with the ID because they don't like that. So it's important to show that whoever's working in your business does need to be earning something, whether that's through drawings, like some of you are talking about with drawings, that's fine, or with paying yourself a salary, or a bit of both. You can do both, you know.
Could you pay, like, I don't know, your kids or your wife or imaginary people, like a salary to take your profit right down, so pay them all minimum wage, so it takes the profit right down from the business, and they're only paying like minimum PAYE rather than heaps of original tax?
Again, it comes down to the effort. If they are putting some effort in, you're entitled to pay people
admin,
what
the
you like.
filing, the
They do
time
filing
period,
or whatever.
invoicing and stuff, so you can say yeah.
And there's really no laws around saying, well, you're paying them too much or whatever. That's There is.
There is, because I've got a client who is sort of, he wants to allocate quite a bit of money to his wife, and his wife does administration work for him, so she does invoicing and sort of collects mail and stuff like that. And I think we've got a case where the IRD is questioning why you're allocating so 40,000 to her, but she's actually putting only 10 hours into the business. That's not a market rate. So market rate is if you were to employ somebody else and actually pay her 10 hours, how much is going to be. So yes, you can sort of get away by paying her quite a bit, but again, how much more than any other person.
Does that still work though for shareholders?
Yes, it works especially in shareholders.
Oh yeah, so if you're a shareholder, you still get paid depending on your amount of effort that you're putting in.
Oh no, the profit share that you get is the profit share. It doesn't, you don't have to put any effort in.
Oh yeah, that's only for the PAYE.
It's just if you're going to pay them a wage. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you can always pay, like from the profit, you can actually pay wages and then have the profit share allocation again to reduce your.
Tax period due dates here, we talked a little bit about that, but penalties wise, you need to file things on time, and there's dates for all that. And the ID have got, for those who've seen the website, it's pretty good. You can put in what things you have to pay, and it'll tell you when you've got to pay it. If you don't get it completed by that date, there's a $250 fine for not completing the return, so on the due date. So that kind of stuff is just money for Jan for the IOD, and you just got to hate it. So got to get it done on time. And then there's penalties, use of money interest is one. There's avoiding taxes and things like that. There's big penalties. What else is there, Anita?
That's about it, just penalties and interest that they charge.
Yeah, so if you file it and then you don't, pay the tax, then there's interest on that as well.
But you can always ring IRD and request for a payment arrangement, some sort of payment arrangement and stuff. They will still charge you interest.
Accounting software, we've started using a product called Xero.com. You can look at that. We've got it there, but we're probably going to run out of time. It's web-based and it's fairly cheap to run, and it will save you quite a lot of time with your admin. What it does is it hooks into your bank, whatever trading bank you're with, and every night it feeds the transactions straight into the accounting system. There's an overnight process, just like internet banking and everything, and then all your transactions are in the accounting system. So it means that you don't have to re-enter it all and code it and everything. Well, you still got to code it, but it's intuitive and it's in the way it guesses what the thing is. So if every week you're paying, say, $200 in rent, it will see that and it'll, next time the $200 goes out, it'll see, okay, that's rent. So yeah, that's a little time saver, and we recommend having some kind of system earlier on rather than thinking about, oh, I'll get around to it. You'll save time and you'll save in accounting fees, because if you get an accountant to come and do it, actually doing the coding, then it'll cost you quite a bit, whoever. Except for us, but.
With your tax requirement, you are supposed to keep your bank statements, your invoices, your checkbook for the next 7 years. So having zero, for example, all the bank statements are on zero, and the backup is somewhere overseas, isn't it? You don't have to have a server on site to keep the backup. So
Yeah.
having that means you don't actually getting rid of all the paper and stuff as well.
But is that a tax requirement or is it a legal requirement? It's a legal requirement.
It's a tax requirement.
So what's the legal requirement?
But isn't the tax requirement is a legal
Both.
requirement, isn't it? Yeah. So if something happens and if you have to go to court and stuff, you have to produce your bank statements and stuff, invoices as well. So if you, because the thing is, because what happens is when you file a GST return, it goes into their database and they will just sort of randomly pick up any GST return in that month for an audit, so that you can have a random GST audit. So what they do is they'll say, okay, I'm going to come into your business and look at all the invoices for that month, and you have to produce invoices. So if you've got big invoices which is missing, then you probably can get into a bit of a trouble with IRD. So this is where the zero is quite good, because you can actually scan and upload and do all sorts of stuff for storing data as well.
Is the payroll system linked up with Xero? Is that all the same software?
It's not the same company, but
Yeah. The cost of this course, can I write this off from my business?
what was that? Sorry?
Yes.
The cost I'm talking about for this course I'm doing.
Yes.
Is there a way I can write this off against my business?
Yes, of course. It's a professional development. You're developing your skills somehow.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
manage
No, it's very, very valid
very
business expense.
Yeah. Because we've got
It's
a staff.
upskilling.
We've got a staff who's doing some accounting papers that went now here, and that's like a professional development. So that's like a business expense. As far as we've got the invoice and stuff.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to claim the GST back
GST as well.
and the cost you'll be able to
Yeah.
show as an expense in your business.
Your resource materials, your printing, everything.
Same would apply if the course is in Australia or Paris.
Or Brisbane.